Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Travel and Tourism course. So here we are at Unit 1, Activity 1. And this one deals with something we call spatial significance. So what is the importance of place? Now, to get us started, they do this really, really good. It's a video off of YouTube. It's called, we call this home, 3 years around the world. Um, So just take a few minutes and watch the video as it's rolling. See if you can see if you can figure out where some of these locations are. It's really fast. Um, See if you can figure out what countries you're in, what famous tourist sites that were visited. It's kind of a neat video to get you going. And then the very first assignment that we have is a discussion posting. This isn't for marks. This is just a quick posting about your travels. Now, I know, obviously, if you're a group of people, some people are going to be more traveled than others. But please don't think that traveling means some great, big, huge 2 week long, expensive vacation. Traveling can literally mean, going half an hour away and camping with your family. So it can be anything that you've done in the past. What you want to make sure that you do is do these. Make sure that you take into account these 4 bullets. Okay, that's just going to kind of guide everybody so that all of our discussion postings are similar information about different places. Okay. Might not hurt to. There's a general online discussion guidelines, kind of an etiquette thing here. It'd be a good thing to go through, especially if you've never done these before. These don't have to be extremely. You don't have to get into personal information about this. We're just so that everybody can see that there's so many different things that can be considered traveling. Okay. And now we're going to get going here. So the first thing that they ask you to look at here are motivations for travel, why people travel, and barriers. So what's in the way of people traveling? A couple of barriers are going to be pretty obvious, and motivators are going to be pretty obvious. But there's a couple that you might not think of. Okay, so do the little interactives here. They're kind of cool. Oh yeah, this is a slideshow about how different signs can be a little bit odd in different places. The translations. Anyway, it's kind of fun. Go through that. And that's an introduction to this thing about the world of languages. Okay. Part of this content is going to get us introduced to languages, not necessarily as a barrier, but as an item. So if you go through this, here's a really cool video about. Now I've never seen these before, but it's an icon T-shirt. So if you're really stuck not stuck, but if you're in a place where English isn't a major language, which is not too many places in the world anymore, it's a good little icebreaker for you to introduce yourself and ask some pretty basic questions. Okay. And here's a video about a guy that can speak 32 languages. So now we get into traveling like a geographer. Most of Unit 1 deals with this thing called the inquiry process. And the main thing that we're going to do today is deal with formulating questions. Okay, so this is sort of how we go about investigating anything geographic, really. This process works for a bunch of different courses. I use it in most of the geography courses that I have. Okay, so first thing it's going to show you is how to formulate a good question. Okay, so there's the 4 different kinds of questions. Okay, factual, evaluative, comparative, and causal, it's called. And there's a really good checklist for you as you're evaluating questions. And this thing is called the question matrix. What it does is it shows you how you go from very simple questions. So the what is question, what is the capital city of Ontario, to much more complex, higher order thinking questions, which is what you want. And of course, the highest order is the how might. So, for example, how might one activity influence the environment of an area? Okay, we call that deeper thinking. These things are we're going to use this a couple times. So, kind of, I don't know if you want to take a screenshot of it and paste it onto a Word page and save it. And then we're going to go through, there's a short assignment here. It's not going to hand in, but it's going to get you to start thinking about formulating questions. So even though you're not going to hand it in, I really suggest that you take a few minutes to go through this. Okay? It's these questions here about the images. Okay? That's Machu Picchu there. So go through this, open a Word page. Might not hurt to take a screenshot of the question matrix, paste that in, and then do these 4 questions, okay? Okay, and then we get into thinking like a geographer. What's where, why there, and why care? We're going to see these a few times as we move along. So here's our 4 concepts of geographic thinking: spatial significance, patterns and trends, interrelationships, and geographic perspectives. We're going to do spatial significance here in activity 1, and then activity 2, activity 3, and activity 4. Kind of a one at a time sort of thing. Okay? Here's your main hand-in piece for activity 1. The spatial significance of a place. This is your Dropbox assignment, if you want to call it that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to select a location from the images, these images, okay, that you think that you might consider to be the most important site. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that and you're going to go through the spatial significance analysis. And that's what's going to get handed in, is the analysis, okay? Read through the paragraph carefully. Make sure that you're addressing the where, what, and why, okay? What's there, and why care from up here. Remember? What's where, why there, why care. And you're going to do that for the one of 7 that you picked here. Okay, I'm not going to go through them all. You can go through them all. Take your time. And there's a Dropbox links here. Oh, here's your criteria checklist. Never hurts to go through that. And then drop your work into the Dropbox, and I'll pick it up. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Let's use the course email, not my work email. That helps me kind of keep everything in one place. All right, and make sure you, as you hand stuff in, that you're naming your file correctly. Okay, thanks a lot, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.